morning. We've got a short agenda, so we should be able to roll through this one pretty easily and get on back out of here. But again, good morning, and we're going to ask Supervisor Trainer, if you don't mind, would you lead us in prayer, please?
Let us pray. Oh God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity to be here. Father, we ask for your divine guidance and your presence as we discuss and come to some agreements and make decisions, Father. And we're praying, oh Father, that you just continue to bless in a mighty way. And Father, we ask that you just remember all these things that are going on. We're going to continue to look to you for guidance and direction. And Father, we pray that once our business is done here, that you give us a traveling grace and find things on where we go. In Jesus' name we pray. Let's all say together. Amen.
Thank you, Supervisor Trainer. Next on the agenda, we've got our citizens' comment period. Anybody want to come and speak to the board for up to 3 minutes can do so. Good morning, Mr. Turner.
Good morning. Citizens, we're in a time of year where coroner take advantage of the old people because they think they got money. We need to kind of be protective of our senior citizens because they feel like that if anybody got money, the senior citizen got money. Also, the employees of the hospital, we have the public that won't go to the health department, won't go to urgent care, come to the hospital to harass and agitate the employees. We need to protect our first responders. Also, it's been 7 years, coming 8 years, and I think to be closer now than being in the wild. But to my cousin himself, we need to keep a close eye on them and Miss Bonnie. They're out there by themselves.
Thank you, Mr. Turner, for those comments.
Motion acknowledgement by the President.
It's been moved by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Trainer, to acknowledge our citizens' comment. All in favor? Right. Motion passes unanimously. We've got next on our agenda Miss Whitney Cox, but I think she's going to be running a little late. So we're going to drop down to Mr. Zen Q. That's okay? Yes. Mr. Zen Q from White Oak Lane Concerns. Come forward. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much for involving me in this meeting. So I sent two emails previously regarding this concern on the pitch of basically mainly in front of my houses, but actually in front of the 3 houses in the neighborhood that is quite different from all others. So it has been suffering from this flowing water issue, either underwater or other like overflow water. So for years, especially from mid last year, that causes the accumulation of lots of weeds that cannot be processed, and also animals, different kinds of animals. For example, right now, within 4 square feet area, there are like over 200 tadpoles living in there, and there will be snakes in the summer as well. So some work has been done, but it seems the information has not been notified in a consistent way. And also, back in February, I believe that the county ordered the engineer to be on site to get an inspection. But we have been waiting for the results and the action that will be carried out.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you like to speak? Okay.
Yeah, that's in my district. You know, that's out there. You sent me a couple of emails.
And I appreciate all the previous conversations.
Yeah, well, you were quite welcome. I always visit with everybody in our district, not a problem. But I got with our road manager Victor Collins and with our engineer Clyde Pritchard. Both of them are here, you know, today. That right there. And from the consensus, and y'all step in and tell me if I'm wrong, that's there. The way all that was done, the county, all the neighbors on either side and everywhere have come in and done all their own work And when they looked out there really wasn't anything else that the county can do out there. Am I wrong on that?
No, I mean, Mr. Chief, how long have you lived there?
Since 2016.
Somewhere around 2015, maybe, your neighbor to the west in there installed a pipe inlet and tried to pipe to the pond, but there's 4 other driveways, and none of those driveways have a consistent flow line elevation. So the remedy, you would literally have to cut each one of the private drives, regrade, put pipe in, pave the ditch, and I just don't see that being in the county purview to do that. Those are individual homeowners that built those drives.
Yeah, that's actually thank you for addressing this. That's actually the first question in my email. It's because I have been told with different informations over the past years, especially, 2.5 years ago, me and my neighbor saw some work done. I think somebody requested, and then the ditch was processed by the county. So later, actually, it got worsened because later the road manager indicated that the work was done directed by the previous manager, and the work was half done because they were only digging, but there is no later processing. So it caused like a cliff generation. I think when you apply too much systematic pesticides and then herbicides. But in my side, where I do not apply more than what the federal law prohibits, and then it's so weedy, and it causes also the driveway concrete to cracks. So those problems, and then I reported it to the county. And the first version of answer I received was that we as a resident cannot do anything to the ditch because this belongs to the county. The county can only do that. It's actually against the law to do that. So later the county helps, but the second version I received is that the county has this responsibility to the bottom of the ditch, which is half, and then half belongs to the resident. But then still the county was very kind and helped with work. Then last December, some work has been done, but actually did not solve the problem. And then that's why the county very kindly ordered the engineer to go inspection, because I've been told that after the inspection done by the engineer, an appropriate work will be carried out. And I do understand that probably installing a pipe is not what the county is able to do, in a complete way. And I also offered I can put the pipe there, and the county would help to put the dirt back, because indeed the previous I think at least the twice digging caused a pretty widened ditch, and also that cliff generation and cracking because of the dirt loose. Actually, on the road surface of this particular several houses, the road surface indeed had some of the most repairs in our neighborhood, and the pattern should indicate. I'm not an expert, but the pattern should indicate it's related to the dirt loosening. So I think we need to look at it in a whole. That's my thinking. But right now, after the inspection, I think my first question is I want to know which area is the residents' responsibility? What area is the county's responsibility? What can county do? What should we do? That's my first question. And the second question is, after this engineer inspection, so what actions are planned? Because that's what a previously conversation about. But it seems after that there is a sudden, I think probably that takes time. What was this one? So that's my two questions. Thank you.
I guess from what I'm hearing, just to make sure I'm sort of clear, the one thing is the ditch stays wet year round, all the time.
Yes.
Regardless of whether it's raining or dry, the ditch. So that's sort of an indication that maybe there's not the runoff from the county ditches that's causing this if it stays. Second of all, I guess, what is your number one solution that you're looking for as far as the ditch? Are you looking to be able to maintain it and keep it cut? Are you want the county some way to come in and put a pipe in and fix it so that, I guess the two things are, one, it stays wet all year round. And Mr. Collins and Mr. Pritchard, if you all don't mind, Mr. Collins, it seems that maybe you might can enlighten us on the last work that was done down there by the county.
Yes,
since you've been back.
Yeah, I was called out, and so the ditch was blowed out on the sides. And what we did was we went down there, we put topsoil in there and tried to fix those voids, and we laid a blanket in there. And so that dirt actually stayed there, but you know, the water is still constantly running. And at first I thought it may have been a water leak, but upon the Water Association testing it, it wasn't a water leak from the pipeline. So it's coming somewhere from the other property, and it comes up out of the ground and into the ditch. And so that's where, that's where I got with Miss Patty so we could talk to Clyde, and came to the meeting to kind of get, his, so he could give us his input on it.
Okay.
Yes.
The day I looked at it, Supervisor Howard, there's no water coming. The ditch runs east-west, if you will, at the end of White Oak and Tees. There's no water coming from the west or the north or the south. I think you just got a matter of some little bit of water stands in the ditch between these pipes, because these driveways have different elevations on the pipe. This doesn't flow. And the only remedy would be to cut the driveways and lay new pipe and get everything at a grade that would run. And the neighbor, if you will, to the west, make sure that his pipe runs off into a little local pond right there. It's not an easy fix. It'll be expensive. And I got to feel like during the drier time of the year, it's probably not going to be an issue.
Supervisor,
That's what I was wondering. I know that out there, and if I'm not correct, I think I'm correct in this from what I've seen on that. I think your other neighbors have already taken care of their pipes and their dirt and stuff themselves. Is that correct?
There is one, yeah. He did early years, and before the county, because he did early, the county actually did not do any previous work on it. It was taking dirt away. Yeah, but he did that job of putting a small pipe, which actually was, that's the confusing part, which actually was the first disagreed by the county, because they said it's illegal to do that. That's why I want to really know, the responsibility between the county and the residents. Where's the line, or what actually the county can do. I'm really happy to work with the county together, even with the input of money to get things done. But I just want to, get a clear and consistent information.
Can we do this then? Can we allow our board attorney and our county engineer and our road manager to all communicate and come back with a definitive answer as to exactly what it is we can or can't, like we've already done, as far as the county can go, and report back? Would that be?
Yes, because I think there's a lot of confusion, because there was the old road manager, they didn't work out there, and then Victor and Clyde and them are having to come in and try to see what's out there. But
is this an elevation problem or something?
It's an elevation problem between the pipes on the driveways.
We could give him permission to go out there and do whatever he needs to do to fix if there. But I mean, forgive me, I'm not trying to suggest to you what you want to live with or not live with, but a ditch is going to have water in it.
The ditch is going to have water in it unless the pipes are removed and relayed and the entire ditch be graded. And that's going to require damages or replacement of at least 2 driveways.
Can we get an estimate as to exactly what we're thinking this might be? And I'm not asking for an exact estimate, I'm just trying to get my head wrapped around it. If we're talking about a $2,000 problem, that's one thing. If we're talking about it a lot more than that problem, that's another. And I think I think that's what he's wanting to know is what are we dealing with here?
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, according to the engineer to be on site the other day, said I think it should be around $1,000 worth because he said that a 6-inch pipe would work, which is not expensive, and plus the dirt and the grass seed on it.
Probably not a 6-inch pipe.
No.
Well, that's what he actually saw and had been working. So once again, I'm not an expert, so I don't know. I think a bigger pipe definitely would be much better, but the minimum to avoid that area to be like a causing problem and unprocessable, I think at least a 6-inch might work, according to the fact.
Because I think it's more of a cosmetic issue, is that correct?
It's more than that. It's causing losing dirt and deepen and widening. Actually, the front yard already had a slope, but my neighbor, because he controls weed very well, but the downside is that there's nothing to hold the dirt, and he already generated very widened cliffs there, and it's getting more and more and more, and the cuts is getting deeper as well. So those are cause problems. His driveway above the ditch already had a huge crack thoroughly.
So it sounds like it's a possibility that the county can go out and do something to the ditch line with the covered ditch line, but as far as his second part of that request, going on his property and helping him put a pipe on his property, that's something that needs to. Is that sort of it in 2 parts?
Ditch grading is not going to cure it because the pipes are higher on both ends. You can grade all you want to.
No, I mean, when you said cut driveways and reposition covered pipes, is that what you were indicating?
I think that's what it's going to take to cure it.
Okay. Again, it's a possibility that the county can possibly do something on the covered ditch grade, but the portion about going onto your property and putting the pipe and helping you cover it up, that's probably outside of the realm of the board.
I'll go out there and look at it and see if we can do this. Before you leave, let me get your address and information so I can find
Okay,
you.
appreciate that.
Okay.
494.
And Victor and Clyde have been out there, so they got all the pictures and everything on it.
Okay, and I'll get with them as well.
I would just-
494 White Oak Lane.
And I have those pictures and
I'll
stuff.
send you an email.
Perfect.
I have a few emails with pictures and other information as well. If I could
My knee jerk, and this is just being honest with you, my knee jerk is that we may end up having to give you permission to do what you would like to do to help get this water off of you if it's creating something problematic for you. However, I'd like to look at it one more time and make certain that I understand what we're doing so that I can advise them as to what to do. Is that fair?
Because I think we're all in agreement though that we can give you permission.
Yes.
It's, you know, to do what you need to do to get it fixed. That is just, I don't know that the county can be able to go in there and do all those ditches and realign everything, because then you gotta realign all the rest of it, and those are where the property owners have already put all that stuff in before that causes that water from coming down.
It sounds like he's in the middle of a bowl, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, it is. So just those 3 families are on the waterway that causes the issue.
I would add a tiny caveat that if the board even allows him to go out and do work on county property, that it be done to the specifications and standards of the county, to make sure we don't create any other.
Now, since the county didn't give us a dirt work on it, so I always say that I'm really happy to put a pipe on it, and the county was helping with putting the dirt back on, just like last time. Because But last time, I actually mentioned before the work done back in December that if without a putting pipe, only dirt work and put a grass seed, even put a sheet to cover it, it won't work because the water won't stop. But I hope that the county would be able to just do it in the best way and right way this time. I have no problem to put a pipe and the county can put the dirt and then help shape it just to finish the previously incompleted work.
Yeah, they'll have to get together and talk, because I don't know about the
Okay,
shaping.
all right. So, yeah, I already finished what I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
Thank you all very much. Thank you. Yeah. And I have to say, Victor is gone. Yeah. Really appreciate him. He's a great man and he helped already a lot. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to acknowledge is
So moved.
been moved by Supervisor Train, second by Supervisor Little, all in favor. Motion passed unanimously. I think I saw Ms. Cox come in. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Sorry I'm late, John. Getting anywhere early on Monday is hard. Okay, let me pass that for y'all. It's just got our annual information from the last fiscal year. And so this is just the annual update for y'all. Our CCS Executive Director is still Mr. Rayfield Evans. I'm Whitney Cox. I'm the County Administrator here for Ocklawaha County. We have a new County Commissioner. His name is Mr. Wayne Tubb. He previously worked for CCS for a while, so it's a really good fit for us.
Commission board, like what is a commissioner?
A commissioner, we have to have one from each of the 7 counties that we encompass, and they are essentially kind of like our overhead.
Like policy maker?
Any policy changes we want to do, budget revisions we have to do, they have to approve
That's your
it.
board of directors?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Let's see. So in 2023, in our service area, which is Choctaw, Clay, Ocklawaha, Webster, Winston, and Lowndes County, we served 5,308 individuals. 964 of those were in Ocklawaha County. Our annual fiscal budget is around $21.6 million. We have 308 staff agency-wide. Here in Ocklawaha County, our budget is $3.7 million, and that's with our IDD services, so intellectual disabilities, developmental disabilities. They are separate from what I supervise, but they're also located here in Ocklawaha County. The Ocklawaha County Board of Supervisors contributes approximately $45,500 in millage money annually, so thank you for that. We have 62 full-time employees here in Ocklawaha County and 3 part-time employees with annual salaries of $2.1 million. In 2023, we helped drive over $25.2 million in economic impact in terms of Medicaid billing, Medicare billing, all the services that we provide with that, and $2.4 million in indigent services. So we receive grants from Department of Mental Health and SAMHSA that help us to serve those who do not have insurance coverage. Whether it's children or adults, we are able to provide doctors, psychiatric, therapy services for individuals who don't have any income whatsoever. In 2023, I just read that. Our services that we offer, we have a whole lot. I'm not going to read off all of these to you. Whether it's pre-evals that we work with the jail and with the courthouse for, we do a lot of those. Whether it is anger management groups that we contract with the school district, therapy, psychiatric, children, geriatric, we have children day services, adult day services. We want to be in the community. They can come to our office, we can go to them, we can go to the schools to see kids there. We do risk assessments with the school district free of charge, so any child who has presented themselves as a danger to themselves or someone else, the school sends them right to us for us to evaluate and make sure they're okay, that they're safe at school, or if they need any kind of service, we help get them there. We do a lot of different things. On the back page, you'll see all of our crisis services, which are very active here in Ocklawaha County. We have a crisis stabilization unit. It's located in our Clay County office. It's 8 beds. It's for individuals who need to be somewhere safe, and we can't get them into the state hospital right away. If you you know anything about the state hospital, there is a long wait list to get individuals there, and we don't want them in jail. And so if we can get them into our CSU, if we can get them into our inpatient drug and alcohol treatment center in Columbus, that's what we use a lot of those services for. Our emergency crisis response teams, called MCERT, they are available 24/7. So if anyone calls that 866 number, they will have the ability to talk to someone. If they need someone to come out right away, whether it's 1 a.m., we have staff that will be there. And so they are our wraparound constant service that we make sure is available to everyone in our service area. We also have something we're talking a lot about now, homeless grants. It is starting to become more of an issue here in Oktibbeha County than I've noticed before. We get calls almost daily about individuals who are being evicted, who are sleeping in their car, who have nowhere to go. We work closely because I know the school district has grants that can help get, if they have a child that's in the school district, we can get them into a hotel for a couple of days. But we have choice housing and rapid rehousing programs. A little bit of time, which is the downside to it. The upside is we can get them somewhere, and these grants can help pay for up to 6 months, sometimes a year, for individuals with rent, deposits, just to help them get back on their feet. And so the word on these grants is getting out, which is probably why we're starting to have a lot of these calls, which I'm okay with. The thing we struggle with the most is finding housing, especially here in Oktibbeha County, that is affordable, because it still has to fall into a range of what they will be able to afford on their own. In the meantime, while we're paying for these rents and deposits, we're helping them with services. We're getting them into therapy, we're getting them on medication. We have supported employment programs that are trying to get them working so they can, so it's sustainable, so they will be able to keep the housing once we get them placed there. Lowndes and Oktibbeha, though, are the biggest counties that utilize these homeless grants. And so that is, in a nutshell, everything we've been doing over the last year. Outside of that, I know this is my second year as the county administrator here. One thing I've been trying to really focus on is building community partnerships and relationships. We are community mental health here, so I'm trying to get my face and our staff at every community event to partner with the poverty coalitions, the community action coalitions. We host a lot of events throughout the year, trying to target. May is Mental Health Month, so this month we're targeting our first responders and doing a big event for them. Lunch and dinner, showing them a movie on PTSD 911, trying to advocate for the mental health issues they face and the line of work that they've chosen. So community engagement, providing services, getting the word out there on what all we can do to help individuals is our focus and emphasis this year. And so we do very much appreciate what's contributed by the Board of Supervisors. So thank y'all for that. As a thank you, I have some little goodies for y'all. Always come prepared, so we'll pass them down.
While you're doing that, I would just like to say community council is such a great service to Oktibbeha County and the surrounding counties, and the people love this county, so thank you so much for everything that you did.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. I previously worked in our Lowndes County office. I'm from Starkville myself, though, so I jumped at the opportunity to get back here, and it is a privilege to get to work here because it's a special place.
I'm glad.
I appreciate it. All right. Y'all have any questions for me?
Hey, and these services, they're available, I mean, not the homeless ones, but these other ones for anybody? Is there like a
Yes, so
a limit on
anyone, they
income?
do not have to be a client of ours. Anyone can call the crisis hotline. They do not have to be a client. Anyone can be referred and recommended for the homeless grant. They do not have to be a client, a pre-existing. Once we get them in services, we will start them up as a client just so we can kind of keep tabs and make sure we're offering everything to them. But no, if you're not a client, you don't have to worry about that initially. No. But yeah, and there's grants that pay for it. So homeless, CSU, insert. We also have what's called an I-Court team. It's a more intensive. Their goal is to keep people out of the state hospital. Officer Word knows we have a lot of repeat recidivism for some individuals because the state hospital likes to send them out of the hospital straight to a hotel again. And then wonder why they're going right back. And so sometimes it's out of our control and it's very frustrating, and I know he feels the same way. But we have grants that can provide those services. And so our hope is that if we can just get them employed, we can get them housed, we can get them to stay on their medicines, then hopefully we can keep them functioning well in society. So we do have grants that Department of Mental Health allows us to use for those individuals. They don't always give us enough grant money, and so it's not uncommon for us to run out sometimes really quickly, but we try to spread it out so we can help them.
Any other questions from Ms. Scott?
No, I appreciate your services, what y'all do. I go through all the buildings and system of care, especially when you
Familiar?
Yeah, adult day services, what they do out on Collier Road, and really Phillips Group Home, and Phillips Group Home on Lynn Lane is a really interesting history of that.
Oh, yeah, right, right.
One of the first, in the state, but the joy that you see on these people's faces throughout that, gets them out of the house, gets them something to do, interaction, they got go into I just say some of the happiest people on earth, and they get to get out every day and spend time with y'all. And
they love coming.
Yeah.
We just got guinea pigs in our psychosocial program on adults with severe mental illness, and they are tickled to death.
And it's an interesting too. I mean, I know we all feel calls and see it, but since COVID, there's an uptick in homelessness nationwide. Starting to get a lot of those. I'm starting to feel those calls the last 6 months. And what's the county and the city going to do with the homeless situation? And I did not know. I thought it was a lot less than that. So it's kind of some surprising numbers to see the amount of homelessness that we face.
Yeah, it's a lot. And I'm glad you're talking about that because it's something we've been talking about too. With our homeless grants, like trying to apply for more grants to see if there's a possibility of a shelter somewhere in our 7 counties that we serve. Because the need is becoming that, like we have the money to get them places, but sometimes the finding them somewhere to go takes a long time. And so, with the school district grants, and then in Columbus, they have a homeless coalition that'll put people in hotels, but that's only for a couple of days. And if, y'all know, trying to move into a place can sometimes take much longer than that. And so trying to get families somewhere safe while we wait on finding them a place to go, a home that's suitable, is the struggle that we've been dealing with, and a solution we've been trying to figure out if there's one and how we can make that happen.
Is that the number we need to send people to, the 626?
Yes. That is straight to our housing coordinator.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else?
Thank you so
much.
much.
Appreciate you coming. Need a motion to acknowledge. Motion by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Williams. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Next, we've got Mr. Patrick Warner, Fire Coordinator. I think he's coming with some good news for the future for October County.
Actually, I did send out a text picture earlier that you might see on the phone a little bit better, a little more clear. I gave you the description. As everyone knows, as the fire coordinator, a large portion of my responsibilities is to improve the fire service and fire protection, and improve the quality of life here in the county. And we always have to look forward to the future, especially for future improvements as much as the county's growing. With that being said, if you look at this map right here, you can see all the fire departments in the county, how they're spaced out throughout the county. I did put a red X on the location that we're looking to put another fire station. There's one large portion left out there in the county that does not have fire. It does have fire protection coverage, but it's not getting the fire rating that most of the other citizens are getting here in the county. Fortunately, I've talked to the citizen out there, and they are willing to give up an acre of land for a fire department there. Now we will have to purchase it, but I believe it is at a good price, and I do recommend this board move forward with that. I'm here today to ask for the board's approval to get an appraisal and to get a survey done on this land and possibly move forward with the purchase of this land for a future fire station.
Is that the largest non-covered service area in the county? I'm just kind of circling, I guess all those little red things I can't read are fire
Yes, sir.
stations.
Yes, sir. All these right here are fire stations.
That's that huge gap out there in the northwest
That's a
quadrant.
huge gap, and you can see because of the color of the picture, you know, this is a brighter area. This is not covered, this is not covered. So this is the largest portion of the county that's not covered.
High pink is non-covered service areas. That's right, with this pink, what does that
Yes,
pink
sir.
mean?
Yes, sir.
Which means these people doesn't have the luxury of enjoying a lower rating for insurance purposes too.
Yes,
Where would
sir.
that rating go from with the installation of the fire department out there?
If we put a fire station there and put 2 trucks in there, it would pretty much automatically go from a 10 to 8.
Which is huge thing.
I'm gonna move approval, what are the motion you say for processing of engineering services or survey for the?
Appraisal and survey, yes, sir.
It's been moved by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Next, we've got our road manager, Mr. Collins.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, sir.
All right. I'm here this morning to, first on our agenda, we have, bid results. We opened bids on the 9th for, some equipment and tree service. And the first one we're gonna work on is gonna be our tree service. American Arbor won that bid, and it was enough. I don't have that other information with me, but my recommendation on that was to go with the option 1, and that's debris being cut and removed.
Is that something that the county, first time to do? I see American Arbor, you had multiple tree bids?
Yes.
Is that 1,400 a tree versus 700?
Yes, that's it.
Is that, I'm just trying to do the math, it's not that much money, but 88,000 versus 63,000, $25,000 difference on debris and tree removal. Is that well worth it? Is that a good investment for the county?
We've done this before. This is our second time visiting this.
Yes.
And this is the same company that we used before.
Make a motion to accept the recommendation.
Been moved by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Williams. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, next on the agenda we have our motor grader bids, and of course our lowest bid came from Track Plus for $279 per machine. Our second bid was with Caterpillar with $321, $239.40, and our highest bid was from John Deere at $339, $437.63. My recommendation is to go with the second bid, and the reason is and that would be Caterpillar. The reason being, Track Plus is outside the travel distance that we were asking for, and on our bids we had I think 70-mile travel range. They don't have anyone in that area to service. Plus, we've had some significant problems and significant problems with service from them also. Yeah, their ability to, and it's a pretty good list of things. Of the reason I'm recommending our second lowest bid.
We sort of been, motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. I was gonna say, we sort of been down this road before, but we don't wanna make that same mistake. How many are you purchasing?
3 at this time.
Okay.
3 at this
Three
time.
purchases, okay?
All right. Next, we only had one bid on our mixer. Well, I'm sorry. Next was going to be our chip spreader, and we had only one bid on that machine. And I did it in 2 options. I had them bid it with cab and without cab. From where we stand, we want to go with the lower bid of $409 without cab. And the reason being, it's hard to, it's a combination of operators on that machine. And what I mean by it's only one operator, but he has a person there that he have to communicate with him as for his limbs and other stuff like that, wires and all. And it's going to be better going with an open cab machine. Yeah, it'll come with a canopy, and you know it's a little dusty at times. And that's another thing. If you're running a machine with a cab on it, it has a tendency that the windows will get dusty, and you can't really see out of them.
Need them.
Well, I still think we need to go with that machine that's in cab, because I mean, you know, with the safety and the operators and things like that, plus for a little bit more cost, this is $400,000 machine. I think it'd be a wise move for us to get the one with the cab. And I'm looking out for the operator.
Well, I am too, and that's the reason I'm saying. It's not many, and I did my research on that. It's not many companies that's recommending the cab machine, and it's because of the fact that the operator ability. And I know it's a little bit of dust involved, but being able to operate the machine, communicate with your second man, and with the trucks and all, it's just a little bit, it's kind of hard to do.
Because your lookout man, he'll be on the outside.
He'll be on the outside on the machine with you, and it's a little bit, you're going to have to open the door in order to hear him, so
that's what I'm saying.
The dust is going to come in there anyway.
With a cab over, the outside lookout man will still be on the outside.
He'll still be on the outside, because the cab is no wider than this desk, with all your all your controls inside of it. But the lookout man is going to be on the outside, so he's got to open the door in order to hear the lookout man. It's no job that I went on that I've seen one of these machines run with the cab on. Clyde, I know you did several reseal, and I think
They're all open machines.
But we plan on using this machine. We're going to use the machine regularly. I'm sure, right?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though.
This
machine is going to cut the what we've been doing. It's going to cut it in half. Okay. I'm telling you, the operator is going to be upset by the time they get through eating dust and cleaning the cab out.
Let's just put it to a vote. I'm gonna move approval without cab air conditioning on the quotation.
Been moved by Supervisor Trainer, second by moved by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Trainer. Then let's move forward without a cab on the chip sealing machine. All in favor?
I'm gonna say no. I don't think you ought to buy no high dollar people. That's like buying a motor grader without a cab on it. You gotta be frank with you.
I understand, but
maybe this one can come with the option to add a cab later.
Yeah, right.
We'll take that option, and I'll get with the guy and we'll talk.
Look at that option.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay. All right.
So we'll go with. I'll go with the option to buy it with the cab at the discretion of doing it without.
Sounds good. All in favor?
Delivery time.
All right, on the motor grader, 30 days. On the chip machine, it's going to be about, 60 to 80 days.
And you're just buying one of them chips.
Yo, we don't need one. We don't need one of those.
All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Okay.
All right, last and not least, we had open bids for a grinder. We only had one bid on that. It came in at $849,716.68. That's with Thompson Machine. Delivery time on that one, they've been holding one around, so delivery time is about 30 to 45 days.
Need a motion?
Make a motion to take
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Williams. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
All
Man,
right.
we got you some equipment, we got to get you some work, keep them going now.
Okay, next, we have, some quotes come in from, for driveway replacement.
That was for the grind. One grind.
Not easy, bro.
Yeah, we can't afford for one of those.
Yeah. That one, I'm
That,
gonna tell you, we'll increase the productivity.
okay, the first one is gonna be for 16 section, 1310. It come in at $24.95.
Move approval.
Second.
Been moved by Supervisor Carl, second by Supervisor Train, all in favor?
Okay, on the
Motion
next one,
passes.
we're gonna have,
Unanimous.
2 driveways,
What was that we just, y'all just did?
Driveway.
Driveway, 16th section.
16 section, I think. Next.
Next. Yeah, the
And
next,
that first one you got that, yeah, that first one, yeah.
okay, the next one is gonna be for 1276, 16 section road, and also 1292, 16 section road.
$2,524.98.
Total of $49.98.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Train, that we approve the driveways on 16th section road, all in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, I think it's 2.
Hold 1 second.
Don't go into the
I thought y'all wanted me to get in here and get out.
Yeah, but we gotta write down everything you're saying.
I'm sorry.
Those driveways, that's a paving those driveways.
Yeah, we cut the concrete off of them, to play the cover.
Right,
Yeah.
right, you gotta put it on.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta put it back on.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Y'all, when y'all ready, let me know. I got just about 3 things, and I'm gonna be out of here. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
You good?
Let's go.
I need approval from the board to take the mosquito machine, the spraying machine, fogger, back to Birmingham. It was taken over one time. Y'all approved for it to go over. It couldn't be calibrated because it had to have some work done on it. So they sent it back. We done the work on it. We want to take it back on May the 23rd.
Been moved by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little, all in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, next, we are in the process of.
Hold up just a second. That's to take the mosquito falls machine back to if we own it, we just need.
It just need to be calibrated.
Take it for calibration.
It was one time running on oil, and we putting it back on water-based material, and I know for a fact that water-based material is a lot better material as far as killing mosquitoes. I can witness to that. They came by my house one time spraying, and they went through and it went down the road, and I was working outside, working on the truck. The mosquito lit on top of the truck. I said, you real brave. Just right in front of me. In a few minutes it rolled over and fell off.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Are we ready for the next one? Okay, go ahead.
All right. Next, we'll purchase a water tank to go on a truck, flatbed truck, to take water to our rollers and use on the roads when we're mixing. This water tank is in Griffin, Georgia. We are asking for permission to keep from paying the freight on it, which is right around $900, to be able to send a truck over there in a trailer to pick it up.
We don't have a water tank.
No, this is a water tank that's going on the back of the truck. 2,000 gallon tank.
Make a motion to approve the action.
I'm sorry, but let's, a little bit of discussion. Ms. Deanna is bringing something to my attention. What did you say?
I'm sorry, B.
Okay.
But once before we did, this not with the road department, but it was with the sheriff department, we purchased a vehicle. It was easier for us to go pick that vehicle. On the way back, the transmission went out and we were responsible for it because they did not deliver it. So you may want to take that into consideration.
Well, this is different. This is just a
Okay.
tank, and we're sending our truck and our trailer to pick it up.
Something we'll purchase.
We're purchasing the tank, and we're just sending the truck to pick it up.
Where's this at?
Griffin, Georgia, just across the Georgia line. And we also, to let you know, we did talk to the audit department on this. All they said is we need to notify the board and let them know that the truck, so if you get a call and say the truck is 3 states over, you'll know what's going on.
Motion to allow, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Good. So I'm just following up on, what the audit department told us to do.
How much is it gonna cost us to, go pick it up?
We're gonna send one person to get it and the gas for it.
And they'll do it in one day?
Oh, yes. It's like a 4.5 hour drive, so he'll leave early that morning, probably around 3 o'clock, and he should be back before the day is over. All they're gonna do is sit it on there and we'll strap it down and, pick up the racks and everything that holds it down, strap those down, and he'll be headed back.
No more than $250 on a couple
Yeah.
of trips. Motion from Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Carter. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. You still have a few questions you're rolling out in?
Well, I mean, I guess I was just wondering, you know, the liability, you know, on, if we're going over there, if one of our guys had a wreck out of state, coming back, you know, just
So
stuff
different
like
to
that.
have one going from here around the corner.
I mean, I was just asking that.
Yeah, absolutely. Only thing, if it comes back with a hole in it, they can say, look, y'all put the hole in it. You know, that's. Okay, that motion passes unanimously.
Okay, one other thing, I have a covered request from Mr. Charles Hogan. His address is 1388 16 Section Road. He's asking for a cover to enter right away on Warren Road.
Make a motion.
Motion by Supervisor Little and second by Supervisor Frank. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, that's all I have. Is it anything that the board have for me?
Cover request.
Okay.
Have a cover request for 505 Crickler Road and drainage improvement at that same location.
505 what now?
505 Crickler, Crigler, Crickler Road, and drainage improvement.
I second your request.
Okay, it's been moved by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little for covered installation. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Anything else for our road manager?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Motion, go ahead, I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
that's all right. I was gonna ask about, when we went out and looked, out of Longview Road, I think they have been released, have they not?
Ms. Pritchett can speak on that,
okay.
I called him, since he's here to tell you.
On Longview Road?
The final has not been done, it's just pending some paperwork, some certifications on some materials, but the work has been released. The contract work.
So some of the stuff that should have been done that wasn't done, we gotta go back and fix ourselves.
I haven't seen it, I don't know what you're referring to. I can get with Beck or whatever, you know, to see, but I can't address it because I don't know what we're talking about.
Me and Mr. Collins went out there and looked and, there's several different things out there that that were put back, but may not have been put back properly. Am I misspeaking, Mr. Collins?
Yeah, on this, they put in a cupboard and they did not finish it where he could get onto the cupboard from the road. And so that was that issue on that property.
And it went down the road, I mean, not down the road, but just a little bit way, the way that water was draining, you know, out of the pipe in it, it kind of leaves it stagnant, wasn't
I just have to go see it. It's 4.5 miles of road, and there was a lot of things going on, and timber was being cut and driveways were being put in. I just have to see it to see if it's something that Phillips would have to address.
And I know it's been a minute since it all happened.
This was like 15 years in the making.
Okay. Anything else for our road manager?
Well, I got the road manager and Mr. Pritchett here, and I'll send it to the board member. Mr. Rob, if we got a vendor that wants to do a Zoom meeting to present a product or an opportunity, can we just set the meeting and set the invitations?
Sure.
Or do you have to go through the open meeting process or do?
Who all's going to be at the meeting? That'd be my first.
Supervisor,
Everybody? Do we need to do a meeting just like we normally do a meeting?
But they won't have to come here, they can attend it from wherever they are, they can
On the Zoom, yes, sir, we can Zoom it in.
Okay, okay. But what we're trying to
It'd
do.
be just like a regular meeting.
Yeah, but we would have to we would have to announce it and everything?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, we'll have to find out. What I'm trying to do is put together a Zoom meeting, to introduce this product, a Nova Soil, that I think would be very helpful to the county. That would help bring us some relief when having to rely on soil cement and some of the other stuff. And so I'm wanting to try to put this together, and we have to try to get some dates and send out some emails. And I guess once we decide on when we're gonna do it, we have to come back to the board and then set the meeting.
Y'all could set them, well, you're not gonna hold the dates.
Right, that's what I'm saying. All the dates.
Yes, sir, that's exactly
Okay,
what
well, we'll work with it. But just want to put y'all on notes. I've sent the emails out to the road department, Mr. Pritchett, and I'll send it to the board, and we'll try to see if we can work together, put together some kind of Zoom that you can attend wherever you are.
Anything else while we got a road manager? Not motion to acknowledge road manager's report. Motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Carver, all in favor. Motion passes unanimously. Right, okay, Ms. Livingston.
First thing, we had a CD bid for this month, and it went to Guarantee Bank, and we done it for 120 days at 4.5%.
Motion that we acknowledge the report.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little, all in favor. Motion passes unanimously.
And another thing, Lisa Hardy from the City of Starkville sent me an agreement for the City of Starkville, T.L. County Board of Supervisors, and the Library Board of Trustees. I guess it's up for renewal that we do.
Philip Carter came and already presented that. We just need to get the president.
Okay, so
We don't need a board. Okay.
And that's all I've got.
Next on the agenda, we've got our county administrator, Ms. Farmer.
Payroll changes for approval.
Motion to approve payroll. Change.
It's been moved by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little, that we approve payroll changes. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
We have right-of-way agreements for Telepath Network Inc. doing business at C-Spire. There's two, one on Blackjack Road and one on Hot Top Road.
Motion for approval.
Been moved by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Carver, that we approve right of way. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
The new Schaefer invoice is the one that Mr. Dwight came previously to the board. They did get the letter to us indicating that there will be no other invoices coming, and so I'm bringing it back again to see what the board wishes to do.
That was the invoice that our board attorney wanted a little bit more clarification and wording on.
This is fine for the invoice, but we still haven't received the engineering work, which I'm sure we'll get, but I did speak with, Mr. Dwight, I guess it was Wednesday or Thursday of last week, and we're supposed to be getting that, and I also spoke with the gentleman that is
Forest Creek Development? Ace?
RV.
RV?
RV park.
Oh, the one
Yes,
that's,
sir.
the proposed one?
The
I
proposed
can't think of what
one.
his name is.
Y'all, I've asked him if he would come and speak with this board about exactly what he's doing. I think y'all need to be aware of how big this is. This is actually a bigger project than maybe, I'll be honest with you, it's a bigger project than I thought it was. I spoke to him 3 different times, and he's willing to come and give them an update. I told him he probably should have done that to start with.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been a little bit better for y'all to be able to understand how large this project is. He's talking about not just an RV park, but a development. There's some huge development possibilities going on out there. I'm not trying to sell you on the idea. That's his job. He can come and talk to you about it. But I do believe that the first part of what we've allotted for this wastewater and everything that we're talking about, that is part of that project, and we should be able to get that part of it at least attached to it. That doesn't mean the water and the sewer's gonna have anywhere to go at that point, but that is part of the first level of the project that we're talking about. So until we get that, I'd like to see the engineering work on this, to see what we're talking about, bring it to y'all. Y'all see this far better than I ever have.
So do we table this until pending the engineering work brought to us?
I'd like to have the engineering work.
So, do you know whether or not, I thought they did get approved through one of those rounds of funding. And I thought they
It's confusing to me. You and I are on the same page. They have been approved for a first part of their project through DEQ.
Okay.
And I've got the impression that the problem is that the city of Starkville didn't know what that project was out there. We didn't know what their project was out there. We're trying to just catch up. And I told them that. I said, look, nobody's trying to interfere with your project. That is not what we're doing. We're just in a situation where we don't have a place to sink your sewer, even if it were attached.
Right.
And I said, so we're not trying to interfere with the project, but he has met with the mayor and the city of Starkville about accepting their sewer. I think that I'm getting the impression that they're trying to work with them. I don't want to sit here and suggest to you that everything's been taken care of, but I think the gentleman needs, and I'm going to encourage him the next board meeting or the next board meeting, whichever he can come, to come here, lay all of this out in front of to y'all, let you know what we're doing. It's just not fair to y'all to be sitting here trying to figure out what's going on out there and nobody's telling you.
Well, let me ask you this, the ARPA opportunity is over there.
Correct.
Okay, so what he's saying here about ARPA is really another vote.
We can still, what we have out there has already been approved, the portion of that has already been approved, so, but anything in the future, you're correct. But my thinking is if this project is a project that is decent enough for us to, and here again, I want him to come and tell you all what this project is. We may look at this as maybe something that we ask the state to help us with the sewer system out there, or the feds in the future, whichever direction y'all want to go. Because there are other ways to find money for this, not just the ARPA money.
Well, now, the one that you referring to, it has not broken ground yet, but there's one that has already broken ground with Jonathan Byron Construction. I mean, they got a lot of stuff in place. They're ready to go. And they're ready to get the green light. Now, this other guy, that's a different deal. That's a little farther
Yes, sir.
to the east. But of course, you put both of them together, they both significant projects.
It could be massive.
Let me carry this motion to table this first, motion to table
$30,000.
$30,000 until the engineering work has been attached to the invoice. All in favor? That's the motion by Supervisor Little, second by Supervisor Carter. All in favor? Motion passes.
Just out there, maybe as a feeler, what y'all think is I'm getting called and we're all getting called and stuff that this is convoluted and complex. If we could have once a month, I'd like every other meeting to have a sit down for 10 minutes where Rob can tell us what's going on, what's moving forward, because most communication is and should be going through our board attorney. So, I'm asking, I just need information. And the more we get involved with this thing, the more complex it gets. And, I don't know, that's something we can't, as the next few months.
Regardless, I'll start. Some of these projects, though, I'll be honest with you, this landed on me last week as to how big this project was. And I went, you guys need to come and talk to the supervisors. Y'all, there's been nobody up here explaining this.
And I know I've said this before, but that brings it back to the forefront that we really need to have the discussion sooner than later about the county code and a code enforcement person, because things are happening rapidly, and we're gonna be stuck with the aftermath. I would rather be proactive than reactive.
Well, we're working in a direction. I mean, we got that on the table, we got the house, we got a lot of stuff pending. We moving, we spending money, spending our wheels, but it just takes time.
When was comprehensive plan, Mr. Slaughter?
Mr. Slaughter, I think that's, it'll be some time before we get a report back from that, I believe.
Go ahead, yeah.
I've been in communication with them, providing them information that they'll need to contact people. So they're working on it. But again, to echo what he said, this stuff takes time. But they are working on it.
But you are correct. In this particular situation, if we had some sort of process in place where you had to fill out something so we'd know what's, but we need to just, I guess, make sure we communicate with Mr. Slaughter and let him know this is very important as soon as we can.
June 3rd, that developer will be here the 3rd of June.
Sorry.
June 3rd meeting with that developer will be here.
I'm gonna ask him, I've asked him to set time aside for us. We're supposed to return. When I talked to him on Friday, it was Friday afternoon, he said he would come at some point. And I said, well, there's no way I can get you in for today's meeting. I said, wait until next meeting, I'll bring it up and make sure that y'all are, I'm sure you're good with it, but just, I would assume either that or the next one. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Attorney Robinson, we have information about wastewater, provision, but have you have any information about what agency is going to provide potable drinking water? That we know who's going to provide drinking water
For this particular project, it would be in the franchise area.
That was gonna be the one that's the 98 deal, that's in Golden Train.
One is in Golden Triangle.
Both of them Golden Train.
Okay.
Both of them Golden Train services. Golden Train water services out of, Tibia, Lowndes County, Altoona County.
Not to tell y'all something that y'all already know, because y'all know this probably better than I do, but y'all, the whole rural water issues that we have out there, we're gonna have some issues in the future if we don't be aware of what we're doing, and the sewer, if you don't have water, if you don't have sewer, you don't have nothing.
Yeah.
And
you don't have water, you don't have anything.
And I was gonna say,
That's what people don't want to see.
That's exactly right.
I talked to an engineer just by happen chance, at one of these little things, their Bulldog weekend, when they all, come in. But anyhow, he's helped with, I think it was Wagner Engineering, and, anyhow, they're agreeable to come and visit with us about just the process of, the wastewater stuff, because they've built, a lot of things and stuff, and, I'm hoping to get him on the agenda if y'all are okay with that in the near future. At least just give us the information of how long it takes, how much money it takes, what's the process, because I just feel like we keep getting bombarded with new projects that are coming in with hundreds of houses, RV parks, all kind of stuff, and I don't feel like we're prepared for them yet.
The more information we can get, based on what we're facing out there, I think the better it is. So I would say set a meeting date. I think we've got a motion and a second, and we carried that motion to table until we get
Quick question, Attorney Robinson, will you be reaching out to Mr. White to get the detailed engineering report, or do you want me to do it?
I would say we both need to do it, because getting a hold of him sometimes is, and I don't mind.
I'll reach out. If I can't reach him, I'll let you know.
That sounds good.
I'm sorry.
Sometimes it's just hard to track people down,
Okay, I'll
But Schaefer should have sent us something. So I even talked to them, and I thought they were going to email us something, I guess. You and I were saying they just had the same problem yet, so. Sounds good.
Okay, all right, you need approval to travel to MAS Annual Conference, Biloxi, Mississippi, June 10th through the 13th, 2024.
Motion for approval.
Motion by
Second.
Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Trainer, all in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Couple other things I didn't get to get in the package in time. We have some 16-section lease agreements from the school district that I'll be getting, that we need board approval. We just have to sign off on agreeing for them to do that, and I can read off the addresses if you want.
Do they
You all
Yeah,
right?
no.
Or just,
I'm
just
just-
a blanket
For
approval.
housekeeping measures, I always like to look at something for.
Okay, yeah. You can read them off.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, one is 76 Josie Allen Road, JOSIEALLEN Road.
Are these like hunting leases or residential?
It's still the school.
The some of it is a combination. And I don't know whether the address you read, is that the actual property location, or that's the owner, where the owner lives is?
To my understanding, they have a new, one of the ladies retired for health issues. Yeah, they have a new lady, and I asked her, I told her I didn't need the address to the property.
Okay.
So we discussed it, and that's what she said.
That'll be something new we'll be doing.
Yep.
In the past, we would just go and just sign it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, go ahead.
12 Nelson Street. 1279 Silver Ridge Road, Sturgis. 2259 Artesia Road.
Repeat that, please.
2259 Artesia Road. 2199 Artesia Road. This other one had a P.O. box. I couldn't find the address. That was the last three that had P.O. box. I couldn't find the address to those. So, but she did give a name, Susan Wall.
That's down in Sturgis.
It is Sturgis. P.O. box.
Move approval.
It's been moved by Supervisor Carter, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Alright, we have our continuing engagement, disclosure, I should say, continuing disclosure with Butler Snow, that we need to approve for them to continue assisting us with financial.
It's hospital related.
No, has nothing to do with the hospital.
Motion for approval.
It's been moved by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Mr. Tyrone Ellis came by the office on last week. He's working on a project. He's needing just a general office space to set up and meet with people. Supervisor Trainer was in the office. And so we got with Darryl Fulgham over Building and Grounds to just let him look at the space investigation moved out of. And he said it works for him. We don't have to do anything to it. But he's just wanting a space for at least up to 6 months. That he can meet with people while he's working on this community project. He came to the board previously to tell you all what he was working on. I don't know if y'all remember, but I can ask him to come back just to kind of tell you. It's gonna be great. It's a
What is
big
this
project.
For former Representative Tyrone Ellis, he's working on a project through the Department of Corrections that will help to provide some assistance to individuals who have been incarcerated.
Transition.
They've been paroled. They've done everything, dotted all the I's, crossed all the T's. Now they're trying to get back, into the workforce. And so they'll be going through that program to help get them prepared to go to the workforce. And it's going to be something really big. He's working with Earl Kane, Department of Corrections. Of course, y'all know Representative Ellis. He's done a lot of great things for the county.
Is he retired or is he doing this full time?
No, he's retired.
This is going to be his work?
Well, this is going to be something that's going to not only encompass him, but I think it's going to be a team, because this is going to be something long going. It's going to probably be a facility that's going to come out of it too.
Is it through the Department of Corrections?
Through the Department of Corrections. The facility will be out in the county. And so he mentioned about the possibility of other partnerships, but right now he's working through some of the things through it initially. And he'll be coming to us to talk to us about the board making more of a partnership than just providing some temporary office space.
So do we need to, this temporary office space, is this something you want to hear a presentation from him before we approve it? I mean, I don't think I'm going to vote for it either way, but is this something we need to go ahead and, does he need this being time sensitive approved today?
Well, I mean, if you want him to come and talk, that's fine, but as far as if it, I don't know, was the facility available to access when?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
they looked at it and he's good with it. He really needed a space to start everything, you know, just a general office space. But I'm sure he'd be willing to come aboard and update you at any time.
I say go ahead and prove it, and then invite him to come back to the next meeting.
Yeah, I want to hear about it, man. I think we've already talked about some things. I'm interested in population rates and all about it.
We don't have any plans.
No, let me cut. He's not asking for money. He's not asking us for support of nothing. Right now, he just needs just an office space that he can meet with people while he's trying to put this together.
I spoke with our attorney and I asked him, you know, I'm fine with it as long as he makes sure everything's legal, with the way we're doing it. So if we can simultaneously have him working that out and request him to come and talk to us.
So long as it's legal, approve it with the caveat that I'm making sure that everything's lined up to be legal.
Yeah, that's all. So can you get in touch with him and just have him come speak to us?
Let's go ahead and make the motion down. I guess we need to get the program started, but definitely want to hear. Like to see.
Let's get moving.
And I'll second that. Even if we have to come up with a contractual agreement, I hope we be very modest in whatever fee we have to charge.
It's been moved by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Trainer. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
That's all I have.
Okay, all right. We've got, where?
Right here.
Oh, okay. I told him to come in and leave. Okay, Sergeant Word, Chief Captain, what do you want?
They're all up.
Let's see them bars.
I've got three quick little things. I'm asking for approval to close out the FY24 triad grant. We've spent the money. I'm also asking to apply for the FY25 triad grant, which is the Are You OK system and the elderly in the community. We're asking to apply for that grant as well next year.
Good program.
Yes,
Motion
sir.
for approval.
And then
Close out first.
Close
Close
out.
out first.
It's been motioned by Supervisor Williams and second by Supervisor Little for the closeout of the grants. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Okay.
And then the next one is to apply for the triad grant for FY25.
Motion for approval.
It's been moved by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Carver. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
The last thing I have, Mississippi Department of Transportation's gotten up with us. They are wanting to see if during our weekly road crew cleanup, we could look at some of the state highways. They do it in, I think it's over 70 counties. They've got a map there. They reimburse the county for the hourly salary of the guard that's with the inmates, and they reimburse mileage. Obviously, I'm going to make sure that the county roads are the first priority. So whenever anybody sends me a text message or gets put on the list, those roads always will go into the front of the line. But if they are out looking for somewhere to work, we may put them on the highway, and then we can send a bill to Department of Transportation, and they reimburse us for that work for that day. It'll be obviously Highway 82, 25, 389, and stuff like that.
Do we have the manpower?
Yes, sir.
To be able to.
If we don't have the manpower,
still get out the county road.
if we don't have the manpower, county roads are the only thing we're working on. If we do have the manpower, and I've gotten all of the lists that we have that we need cleaned, then I may put them out on 25 for the day or 82 for a day. My thinking right now is 1 day a week if I don't have any roads requested by a supervisor. Supervisor roads are going to be first priority no matter when, no matter what.
I guess I have some problems with that because when I look now at some of the county roads, they are somewhat to be desired.
I agree.
In terms of needing to be picked up.
I agree.
So
The problem is
we see how we're gonna have time.
The problem is we clean, we'll get 150 bags of garbage off of a road and go back to it literally 4 days later, and we can get another 50. And it's not because, I mean, they're cleaning the roads and getting them clean. It's just a constant rotating process. This is something that they have been trying to get us on board with for, I'm told, over 10 years. And I figured we can fit them into our schedule whenever we have time to fit them in.
You know, at one time, the Department of Corrections, when Alfreda Outlaw was there, the Department of Corrections, they did a couple of days where they had individuals assembled, and I don't know who took her place that's able to do that. But if you could do a little research on that, see, because the bottom line of it is we need help to keep them up. So whatever help we can
need
get.
we need help for county roads.
I agree, right.
And when we get those text messages, those are the first priority. I mean, we're gonna get y'all's roads first. This is something that they came to us and said, when we have time, is this something we want to consider?
Now, is that something that if y'all did decide, we decided that was, okay, but then we saw that the county roads.
We'll just stop doing it.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
If y'all decide
that
the
we
county
weren't.
roads are getting lacking, because of this, we'll just stop doing it.
So we wouldn't be bound to do it.
I've read over the agreement. There's nothing that says anything about it's a year-to-year thing or anything like that. It's just understanding if you're on the state highways, they're going to pay you back for it.
The state, do they have personnel that could do that kind of work?
Not that I think that's a contract. I think they pay
$3 million a year. One time I was about to say,
I think they pay contractors to do it. 70s, or there's a map on that, on the sheet of paper. It's literally like there's 8 counties that don't do this.
We just text you directly on the roads if we have a problem area.
Did we?
I'll just get his phone number. I've gotten from track. I didn't really know the process. So
You text me.
I just texted.
We need a motion to allow him, motion by Supervisor Little, second by Supervisor Trainer. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. And I've got a location where somebody threw some mattresses out on the road that I'll get that location. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
You take care of them. There's so many that
You ain't got to worry about it. Supervisor Williams, we got you covered.
Okay, our board attorney.
Thank you. I've got some updates. We've got a workers' comp case at the sheriff's department that is settling. I haven't gotten the paperwork back from them. I'm hoping to have some information back on a couple of the other cases. There's no sense of going into executive session for this. I'm talking very generically on some of this, but the one for the sheriff's department should be the paperwork through the workers' comp bill should be through in the next week or two. And look, waiting for your packets. I'll make sure that Mr. Lois had her, and they come to her first, to be real honest with you. Just look for your packets. It should have the information in there. And there's a couple of other things that are going to be kind of hitting this summer that we should be finishing up as well. So that I'm giving you the generic laydown of that. And for next board meeting, I'll probably have some paperwork for y'all's approval.
How do you feel about having a monthly update on these types of costs?
Whatever
and all that. Is that something that the board?
Listen, I think that's one of the most important issues that you guys are going to be dealing with over the next 4 years. Everything tied to water and sewer is probably huge, so I think it's well worth your time.
I just make a motion, or just make sure on the first meeting of every month that we have some point for upcoming litigation and talk related to water and sewer in the county.
And I would recommend that these township y'all meet on the second Tuesday, I think, of each month.
We better do it on the second meeting of the month.
I'm just for information, and I would encourage you to maybe want to attend. It's the second Tuesday, I think, at 3 p.m. out at the Cocoa Building.
Where is that?
That's the Council of Community Organizations. It's located right before. You go out 82, stay on 182, go past Village Cycle Sun, go past Lakeside Drive, and right before you get to the city limit line, the Cocoa Building, right
by the
Tabernacle Church.
Yeah, that's a bridge in the bottom of the 16th section takes off.
Yeah, commission be there. And then, of course, dealing with wastewater, that board is appointed by supervisors. I don't know whether y'all want
unanimously? I mean, not unanimously, all members? Or
all members are.
Who's on that board?
Let me see. Jim Crosby, Steve Kennard, Oswald Rendon, Gary Davis, and John Allen. And so all them serve at the will and pleasure of the board. So if the board decides they want to assume it and take on that responsibility, I guess the board could. But
Could you dissolve all those members and just take it on if the board were dissolved?
well, I'm sure you could, but at the same time, you want to look at it. You want to look at approach it with caution because it is a responsibility. I mean, it's quite a bit. It's quite involved. It's a big responsibility. So I'm not saying I can do it better than what they're doing, but at the same time, I do think that we need to. It's important that we be abreast of what's going on and try to work together.
Yeah, is that something that we could, because, obviously the university's had issues and everything else, is that something that, if we want to be people, that is people that maybe, represent the university, represent the county, you know what I'm saying, where, people.
I think right now it's just lack of communication. I mean, whoever you're appointed, if you don't communicate with them, I think you probably, because now you really realize that you're not going to find people just knocking the door down. They want to serve when they understand all the dynamics and all the issues and all the problems they got.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's part of the problem.
and I don't think you can find any better board members as far as people who are knowledgeable and people who are interested in serving, and none of them get any compensation.
That's why.
So it's all volunteer.
It's service to the community, basically.
Well, and it's kind of a generational thing. A lot of your board members are older members or they're retired, and y'all, we're gonna have a serious issue in the next 10 years. We've got a lot of these younger people are not coming on that board. They're not wanting to spend their time dealing with this stuff, and it's just going to become an issue. And that's honestly part of the problem you have with your water and your sewer is it's just a lack of understanding of what needs to be done, lack of communication of how to put everything together. And I think Mr. Joe said, without water, you get nothing. That's a fact. If you don't have water in the county, you're not going to get nothing.
What can you do?
You can't do anything.
I think part of the problem is lack of communication and the right hand not knowing what the left hand is doing, and everybody is sort of on their own island doing their own thing, and it's not meshing well. I think we need to have some sort of everybody knows what's coming, everybody knows what's got to be done, what needs to be in place. So if we can put something in place like that, that would be the way to go. Because
Part of the problem with potable drinking water is that people, for some reason, are reluctant to pay for it. They think water is free. And we have individuals who are serving on these boards and not being compensated. They're just doing it. Service to the community, but you can't, it's hard to get people to realize that you have to pay for water. That's a problem we have with potable drinking.
The water itself may be free, but getting it to you.
Getting it to you, you gotta treat it. You gotta treat it. Yeah.
okay.
I want to ask about the DC trip, the reason for cancellation.
Our county administrator just alerted me she wanted to talk about that.
I just want to know the reason for cancellation. What can we do to be more adequately prepared next time?
Well, it has been postponed, not totally canceled. So I want to clarify that. And I would hope that if any of you had any questions and needed more clarity, to reach out to them. They are the professionals. They do this scope of work. I've never been to Washington with this, in this trip. So I don't know what they do. So I just have to trust if they make a recommendation, then I support it and recommend it to the board. They just recommend that we postpone it because they didn't feel we had enough information to go ask them for money. One thing I know they don't have is anything on the building. So that's a valid point.
I wanted to make sure, I would have to go on the first, obviously we just turn the old spots over the house, don't ever do that in 2 weeks. But wasn't able to make it, we're moved in, so I'd like to make that next trip. And then this is Clearwater, correct?
No, this is different.
Yeah.
A date has not been set, but when they do, I'll let you know.
I want to use this opportunity because Clearwater reached out and Rob didn't hear Bart Williams and what y'all did for us in the state senate or the state legislative session this year. I just want to publicly thank you, and I'm trying to put y'all out there and let you know what all how hard you work for us in Jackson. Shoot for the moon, land, the stars. You did that for sure this year. But a lot of good projects coming through the pipeline, and I just really want to appreciate say congratulations and thank you for our state representative for this area and for Senator Williams.
Shane Taylor.
It's an interesting dynamic to have you sitting in this room also as a board attorney. You wear a lot of hats for Arkansas County. And just thank you for what you did this year.
Representative
Y'all
Taylor.
work hard too.
Even though that trip got canceled, I would encourage you all, I won't be able to go this year, to consider going to NACO. NACO is going to be in Tampa in July, and NACO is a great opportunity to give you a lot of good information about all the opportunities out there for county. So that may be something you want to consider.
I'm very interested. I used to go to MML nationwide for the municipal side and got to meet President Obama and had a good time. I came back, and sometimes I think you get your blinders on local government. You just know what happens in this room, and you go to NACO or you go to any kind of nationwide conference, and you start seeing, oh, well, and of course they're going to highlight the success stories nationwide of things that are working and where the grants are coming in and how to get the money. So yeah, I'm very interested in it.
What are those dates?
I think it's in July, probably around the 12th to the 15th. But I'll send you. You can just go to either NACO.org or either you can, and then not only that, but go and sign up for the NACO subscription and also with our association, because they'll keep you posted about things too, about as far as with some of the legislation, some things that pass, some things didn't pass, and things of that nature. You just need to stay informed. But Clearwater helps us really on the state level, but Pickering has more expertise on the federal level. And something else we need to consider. I know we had a great presentation from the UHY advisors, and we need to consider that. Why? Because they have the expertise for us to be real aggressive pursuing some of these federal dollars that are out there. And I think that's something we need to consider. I know we had a contract from them, and they presented a presentation about $80,000. But what they can do that Pickering is not able to do is that they can find the money, they can apply for these grants, and then they can also administer the grants that we get awarded, and that will keep a lot of the pressure off our administration, because we get these dollars, these federal dollars of money from other places. They have to be administered, and trying to put that pressure on our current staff would be not wise, because they're already overloaded with the stuff they're doing locally. So I think that we need to consider them someone that can help us to be a little bit more aggressive in some of these grant dollars that are out there that's going to get very competitive. And dealing with Pickering, everybody's wondering what's going to happen in November. That's the 800-pound gorilla in the room. What's going to happen in November. A lot of things could happen. So that's what everybody's waiting to see what's going to happen. And it's exciting. I mean, that's just the way nature of the beast is. But once all that's decided, then we got to continue to go to work. We can't just wait on it. That's why we need to be doing all we can to try to position ourselves, regardless of what happens in November. We can put Arkansas County in a position to be successful like we have been. And so that's why we need to try to every opportunity we can. I mean, whether it's connecting with the right people in Jackson and DC, all it's going to do is bring back good return for our county.
So we need to take this opportunity between now and July trip to Washington to make sure we got every single thing that possibly, and make sure we are prioritized, and make sure that the requests and the asks that we're going after are the ones that's going to get the highest, return and the highest consideration. So we'll make sure we get that done between now and July, and let the board get prioritized on some projects. And again, like Supervisor Trainer said, let's be ready to move forward.
Water and sewer projects are probably one of the most, I guess, it's really on the forefront of everything at the federal level. So there's dollars out there if we can just figure out a way to get there.
See, even on the state level, water and sewer always trumps. So, okay. And we got the supervisors. Anything coming out of the district?
Yes, I wanted to say, I want to thank y'all for y'all's support in the Morgantown Bridge project, going up to Washington. That seems to be going well. I sent petitions out, and we had several hundred people that have signed them. I got them back from the mayor's circle last week. I've sent them on up to Jeff, so he has them. I've gotten a few letters from people that have written in for support. I've sent those on up to Jeff. I've gotten Jeff information on the cost and stuff of the bridge. He has all that. So I'm telling y'all all that all of that, the Morgantown Bridge that y'all, graciously Jim put up as number one priority, that he has all that information. And so and then all that has been submitted, all the money part of it has. And I want to thank, because this is a twofold deal that we're working on the federal level and the state. And and Rob and Bart, and them, I want to thank them because they got money from the Morgantown Bridge. And, oh yes, and check.
Make sure.
And, yes, I've got to personally get with them. But, I'm hoping that there is more money to come through the Emergency Road and Bridge Commission. And if that happens, you know, we could shift our first priority, you know, to something else. But I did want y'all to know that the Morgantown Bridge, everybody has the information that they need to be moving forward for that money.
How much is the engineer's estimate on Morgantown Road?
Well, you know, there are 3 bridges down that road.
Right.
And the first 2 bridges, the reason the application, I was told last year, got denied, the Emergency Road and Bridge, was because the first 2 bridges that you come to had weight limits and had issues. We have, you know, gotten the money, got the first bridge up, you know, to state level, the second bridge to work, you know, that was being replaced, you know, out there. So that eliminated that issue for the Emergency Road and Bridge Commission. The estimate on the actual bridge itself back there is anywhere from $6.5 to $7 million.
Okay. So let's just say
because that bridge has to be not just replaced, but that curve has to be taken out, and that road has to be completely straightened out over that.
This big long section of
the curve has to be taken out.
How many curves?
The one that goes into that bridge, because it's when you go into that road, you're like coming in the curve and there's your bridge in the curve. It's dangerous. And according to state and federal regulations, that bridge is an illegally built bridge, and you cannot. There's no state, federal, or county money that can be used on that to replace it. So that's why it's having to be constructed correctly.
So we got $1.5 million from the state, right? So it needs about 5.5 million that needs for that bridge. So when the ERBR, what is the time frame on that?
They said that they are not taking any new applications this year. They are only looking at, and they didn't take any new applications last year.
Okay.
Our application has still been in. This is the 4th year the ERBR application has been submitted. Clyde has updated a lot of that information in there. You know, hoping to, you know, get the points up, but from all indications that I've been told, they were funded $30 million this year. They were not funded at 100, but they were funded at 30 million. And they are going to be looking at those. And from what I've been told, we have a good opportunity to get the rest of that money through state money. But none of that is promised money.
Okay.
You know, that's out there. So anyhow, and Clyde has all that work done, and he's actually getting the right of ways and stuff together. So we can get those done. So it's a process, and it's a huge monster, and I appreciate y'all's support on it.
Have you talked with state aid engineer lately?
I talked with Harry Lee. Harry Lee has been talking with Clyde, and he said that he was in full support of the Morgantown Bridge getting funded. But you know, that's, you know, when they're talking. But I did talk to the North Mississippi Commissioner, John Caldwell, and he looked at our stuff, and he's in support of helping with our project also. So we've got a lot of people, you know, pulling in our direction. It just all has to line up correctly.
And that's our thinking that we need 5.5 million additional dollars.
That's why I think they're trying to piece it together. You know, if we can get, I mean, I would love for the state to be able to give us it all, but if they didn't, you know, we might have to ask, the federal for the rest of it. But our request to the federal government's been for, they readjusted it and say at 5.5.
That road's been closed on.
According to it, everything that I've seen, it's been closed almost 2 years, but they, you know, they started temporarily, you know, going back across it, but then they had to get it completely dug out. And it's very, very, very dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
And anyhow, it's effectively cut that other end of our county people out of our county. They have to go, you know, around through another county to get anywhere. So it's definitely a needed project.
Anything out of District 1? That's District 2?
As I said before, I think we need to consider this proposal to get some assistance with our grants and other things, and I want y'all to look at that. You ought to have in your packet. Just go back and pull the UHY and look at that and kind of chew on that a while. But I think that if we're really wanting to go after some of these additional dollars, we got to have someone on our team that has that expertise. I think they have great expertise in it. So look at that, and some of the funding and some of these other matrices on the federal level, you're going to have somebody that has expertise to put this stuff together because it's very involved. And it's competitive, but at the same time, you know if you don't apply and you don't play, you know you won't get a part of it.
You ain't in the game, you ain't gonna win.
District
That
5.
cost was 80,000 a year.
Yeah, I think it was 50.
It's in the pack.
No, that was on the previous pack. That was on the previous pack. Yeah, about 87, 280.
Anything coming out of District 5? Okay, I'm sorry, go
One
ahead.
other thing we need to do, we need to give our engineer some direction on how we want to spend our state aid allocation. And so, I don't know whether we can discuss that whenever, but we need to either discuss it soon or discuss it soon.
Yeah, we need to discuss it soon and have a infrastructure meeting soon.
This board asked me to set up another financial work session, and we're working on that. We tried to do it for the 28th, but you said you had some going on that wasn't gonna work. Okay, so that's flawed. So we're working on it.
Sounds good.
I'll get back with you.
We're gonna talk about the use money too, as we discuss state aid.
We talked about all that at that
fund.
time.
Anything
No,
else
that's
out
it.
of 2?
Sorry,
Okay.
that's it.
No problem. Anything out of District 5?
No, I don't.
Nothing from the District 3? So that being said, motion of date for next meeting is June 3rd, 9 a.m. Need a motion for June 3rd, 9 a.m. second by Supervisor Little. A motion by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor? Motion is adjourned. Thank you all so much. Be safe. I thought we could get out of here. We done missed our flight. I believe it.